As the new assistant approached my workstation, the screen before me erupted with a flurry of comments. The moment of employment has arrived. The female lead, Su Wanwan, experiences instant infatuation with the icy CEO, Lu Qinyuan, and boldly intrudes despite knowing he has a girlfriend who is his special assistant. I eagerly await the moment when President Lu transitions from disdain to genuine affection, while the special assistant schemingly stirs up trouble. I am keen to witness the drama of pursuing a wife unfold.
Look.
She locked eyes with President Lu. Is this the spark of destiny? Assistant Lin, may I take the seat beside you? Su Wanwan inquired softly. Suddenly, Lu Qinyuan snapped the file shut, his frosty gaze piercing through. Who permitted you to encroach upon the vicinity of the president's office? He tapped his fingers on the desk. My special assistant requires an environment of absolute tranquility for her work. Oh, dear. President Lu's sharp tongue is fully unleashed. I can already envision the scene where he kneels and begs the female lead for forgiveness. This assistant Lin is utterly oblivious. She should promptly yield her position. Can't she see that President Lu is becoming impatient? When I suddenly realized that I am the malevolent supporting character in a domineering CEO narrative. As Lu Qinyuan's childhood friend and assistant, I serve as a mere tool to thwart the heroine's ascent. In the storyline, my jealousy leads me to sabotage Su Wanwan during a project, resulting in a public rebuke from Lu Qinyuan that drives me to complete darkness. Ultimately, he collaborates with the heroine to expel me from a company, and my family's business is left in ruins. Su Wanwan, intimidated by Lu Qinyuan's imposing aura, turns pale, her fingers twisting the hem of her dress as she nearly breaks into tears, while the surrounding interns cast curious glances. I decisively gather my belongings from the desk. An empty workstation is still an empty workstation. Please take a seat. Lu Qinyuan furrows his brow at me, clearly taken aback by my concession. After all, according to the plot, I should have thrown documents at him in anger. But who would waste their talents for a man destined to change his heart? Furthermore, it was he who pursued me for 3 years before I finally agreed to be his assistant. As I pick up my folder and head to his spare desk, I catch a glimpse of the comments section exploding. The malevolent supporting character has turned over a new leaf? This development is unexpected. Why isn't she causing a scene?
Wait.
Assistant Lin looks at President Lu as if he were trash. I smile subtly. Since the plotline has already derailed, I might as well see how this CEO drama unfolds. As for Lu Qinyuan, he had better pray that I don't grow weary of him. Just as I settle into the spare desk, the latest comments flood the screen. System alert. The supporting character has deviated from the plot. Countdown to main task failure has begun. Help. President Lu is starting to question his existence. His CPU might overheat. Lu Qinyuan grips his pen tightly, the knuckles turning white as his gaze, obscured by his glasses, flickers in my direction. In the past, a mere glance from him would prompt me to immediately offer coffee or meeting materials, yet now, I am solely focused on organizing reports. Suddenly, he clears his throat heavily. Assistant Lin, the analysis report for the merger case. It has been completed ahead of schedule and is in the 3rd slot of your to-do folder. Su Wanwan hastily interjects. The analysis report was the result of a week's effort. Yesterday, Su Wanwan volunteered to assist me, so I let her help with the printing. I never anticipated that she would now usurp the fruits of my labor. Lu Qinyuan gazes at Su Wanwan's interruption in astonishment, his eyes fixed on the new assistant with an indescribable expression. Su Wanwan, smiling, subtly inches her chair closer to Lu Qinyuan. The comments erupt again. Ah, the heroine is starting to establish her presence. She's so clever. President Lu is utterly captivated. He can't resist the heroine's allure. Clearly, he is very concerned about the assistant's unusual behavior. Suddenly, Su Wanwan exclaims, spilling her coffee onto Lu Qinyuan's white shirt. In a flurry to retrieve tissues, I precisely place a damp towel on the president's desk, my tone unruffled. The cleaning department's number is on the wall in the break room. If you need assistance, I can call someone for you. Lu Qinyuan's motion to wipe his collar halts, his gaze locking onto the amusement concealed in my eyes. Chapter 2. The comments collectively explode. What a turn of events. The supporting character didn't he seize the opportunity to harm the heroine? Something's off. The way Lu Qinyuan looks at Assistant Lin is akin to gazing at a rare treasure. That evening, I worked late until 10 o'clock, leaving only Lu Qinyuan and me in the office. He leaned against my workstation, enveloped in an almost imperceptible scent of cedarwood perfume. You've been acting strangely lately. President Liu. I closed my laptop and met his profound gaze. If you are inquiring why I am not envious of Su Wanwan, the answer is simple. I am waiting for you to settle the 3 years of overtime pay you owe me. The comments surged wildly. I can't comprehend this development. Help. The malevolent supporting character is actually focusing on her career. Lu Qinyuan's expression was priceless. It seemed he suddenly realized the treasure he had pursued. Lu Qinyuan swallowed, a soft laugh escaping him as he reached out to ruffle my hair, only to freeze midair. I raised an eyebrow. President Liu, do you have something else to discuss? If not, I must catch the last train. As I turned, I heard a suppressed chuckle behind me, but the latest comments made me pause. Warning. The supporting character's unusual behavior has triggered hidden plotlines, detecting a significant rise in Lu Qinyuan's affection. The next morning, I stepped into the office right on time. To my surprise, a cup of coffee awaited me at my desk, bearing familiar handwriting. As an apology, the comments exploded instantaneously. President Liu actually brought coffee? When will the supporting character's luck run out? Something's amiss. According to the original story, he should be having a serendipitous encounter with the heroine in the elevator at this moment. Just then, Su Wanwan entered, carrying a large bag of goodies. She shyly announced, "As a newcomer, I hope everyone will take care of me. I've prepared a small token of appreciation for you all, and I hope you don't find it lacking." Cheers erupted from the crowd. Some received lipsticks and perfumes, with everyone praising Su Wanwan for her thoughtfulness and attention to individual preferences. President Liu, I wasn't too sure what to give you, so I got you a razor. I hope you like it. Su Wanwan's face turned crimson. A razor, such a personal gift, is indeed quite intimate. Even I, as his former girlfriend, had never gifted Lu Qinyuan a razor. To my astonishment, Lu Qinyuan accepted it with ease, even playfully opening it for a look. When it came to my turn, I nodded politely, showing no interest in the gift. However, Su Wanwan eagerly insisted that I open it. Sister Lin, I stood in line for a long time to get this gift. You must unwrap it. I instinctively replied, no need, thank you. Everyone is watching. Don't put Su in a difficult position. She meant well. Suddenly, Lu Qinyuan interjected, you should open it, Lin Yan. Su Wanwan promptly unwrapped the gift box, exclaiming, look, Sister Lin, you will definitely like this. Inside was a music box that chimed softly. However, the model inside froze me to the core. The door number 607 was unmistakable, and the LED faux flames in the staircase model flickered, reminiscent of the building where my mother perished 3 years ago. Everything felt eerily familiar, pulling me back into a nightmarish reverie. 3 years ago, my mother lost her life in a fire. In the aftermath, I sought accountability from the community, publicly accepting media interviews, all of which can be found with a simple search. Now I understood Su Wanwan's malice. I slapped her hard across the face. Su Wanwan fell to the ground, her eyes instantly brimming with tears. Sister Lin, I only saw you post about liking vintage music boxes on social media. I specially sought out this old model. Why did you hit me? Trembling, she pointed to the model. You must have misunderstood something. And besides, these vibrant colors symbolize good fortune. The comments erupted. The heroine is beginning to hunt the supporting character. The supporting character is truly petty. No wonder she can't compete with the heroine. President Liu, look. The heroine has been struck. According to the original story, you should be the hero saving the damsel. Chapter 3. Assistant Su has quite the discerning eye, even finding a model of the accident scene. I gritted my teeth. She actually used my mother's death to provoke me. The gasps from the surrounding interns echoed. Suddenly, Lu Qinyuan seized my wrist. Enough. Don't escalate this. She meant well, and this is all a coincidence. You are being too sensitive. Yes, this reaction from President Liu is more fitting. He is starting to defend the heroine now. The sweet romance was finally about to unfold. The comments surged again. I shook off Lu Qinyuan's hand. Am I being sensitive? It wasn't your mother who died. So, of course, you wouldn't react. Since you are defending her so fervently, then break up with me. It would perfectly facilitate your relationship. Lin Yan, stop this. Just because I like you doesn't mean you can bully the newcomers without restraint. Lu Qinyuan shouted coldly. Su Wanwan suddenly burst into tears, throwing herself at me. Sister Lin, I'm sorry. Please don't blame President Liu. It's all my fault. I should have chosen a gift you would like. Upon uttering those words, she began to strike herself across the face. The sight of her pitiable demeanor was truly heart-wrenching. Even my colleagues began to reproach me, accusing me of being overly aggressive and petty. Finally, Lu Qinyuan could no longer bear it. He grasped Su Wanwan's hand and led her away. I retreated to the restroom to splash cold water on my face, realizing that there was nothing left in this place that warranted my presence.
Consequently,
I sent my resignation letter to Lu Qinyuan's email. Just as I was gathering my belongings to leave, my colleague Xiaoling rushed in with urgency. This is bad. The Hurricane Investment Company has come for a survey and specifically requested to hear your analysis report. If this deal goes through, the company stands to gain 30 million. Lin Ran, your personal commission would be at least 600,000. A cold smirk crept onto my lips. Then let Lu Qinyuan and Su Wanwan handle it. Xiaoling stamped her foot in frustration. Lin Ran, this is not the time for stubbornness. The Hurricane representatives only recognize you. They want to be swayed by President Liu. I paused my actions. So what? Now that Lu Qinyuan finds it challenging to secure the client, he suddenly remembers me? Xiaoling was at a loss for words, but soon lowered her voice. President Liu's expression was grim just now. Su Wanwan couldn't handle the inquiries from Hurricane, and the situation is spiraling out of control. I picked up my bag, preparing to leave when the conference room door was abruptly thrown open. Lu Qinyuan strode out, with Su Wanwan standing beside him, her face ashen. Lin ran. His voice was low and tense. We need you. I raised an eyebrow. You need me? Wasn't President Liu just criticizing me for being overly sensitive? The Hurricane representative frowned at Lu Qinyuan. President Liu, what is the situation here? We came specifically for Miss Lin's market analysis. If your company lacks even the most basic trust, we may have to reconsider our collaboration. The comments from the audience erupted instantaneously. What a twist. The supporting character has the golden finger? Does President Liu feel any pain? He was just protecting Su Wanwan. Lu Qinyuan's gaze bore into me. Lin ran. The company needs you now, and I need you. I smiled slightly and replied softly, remember, this deal is granted to you out of goodwill. I activated the projector and commenced my explanation of the latest market trend analysis. Just as I reached the pivotal data presentation, a sharp voice pierced the silence. This report is plagiarized. Su Wanwan exclaimed, striding confidently to the podium. I just discovered that the core data in this report is identical to that of another consulting firm. Gasps filled the room. The comments from the audience surged again. Finally, the main character's shining moment has arrived. Tear her apart. Female lead. Let's get the supporting character offline. Only our Wanwan can save President Liu. Chapter 4. President Chen of Hurricane Group furrowed his brow as he looked at Lu Qinyuan. President Liu, your company's internal management is truly eye-opening. Lu Qinyuan's face darkened, embarrassment washing over him. I calmly turned to Su Wanwan, the corners of my mouth lifting slightly.
Oh.
Which company's report are you referring to regarding plagiarism? She raised her chin triumphantly. Mingrue Consulting. Their market analysis report is almost identical to the data you presented today. I chuckled softly, leisurely retrieving my phone and opening a page, then turning the screen toward everyone. Is this what you mean? The screen prominently displayed the Mingrue Consulting Industry Analysis Report, author, Lin Ran. Su Wanwan's expression froze instantly. Oh, I forgot to mention, I said, my tone calm. Before joining Lu's, I was the chief analyst at Mingrue. This report is, in fact, my original work. The conference room fell into a profound silence. The comments flooded the screen. Ha ha, the slap in the face came too quickly. Su Wanwan's self-destructing laughter is killing me. Lu Qinyuan looks green with envy. Lu Qinyuan suddenly rose, his gaze icy as he directed it at Su Wanwan. You are fired. Su Wanwan's face turned pale, her lips trembling. President, I only wanted to safeguard the company. No, you merely wished to drive Lin Ran away. Lu Qinyuan's voice was as cold as ice.
Now leave.
Immediately. Su Wanwan attempted to argue, but security had already entered. Ultimately, she left the conference room in disgrace, under the disdainful gazes of everyone present. I organized my documents and addressed the senior executives from Hurricane. I apologize for the delay. Shall we continue? President Chen nodded with a smile. Of course. Miss Lin's report has been highly anticipated. After the meeting concluded, Lu Chunyuan intercepted me in the corridor. Lin ran, his voice was low, let's talk. I halted but did not turn around. President Liu, I hope you can approve my resignation promptly. He remained silent for a moment before unexpectedly saying, what if I disagree? I turned to face him, locking my gaze with his. Then I will pursue labor arbitration. The comments erupted into chaos. So handsome. Sister, kill me. President Liu deserves this. Where has he been all this time? I support the supporting character. The female lead is too disgusting. Lu Chunyuan took a deep breath. Give me a chance to make amends. I smiled. Sure, as soon as you can bring my mother back to life, then we can discuss opportunities. With that, I walked away without looking back. Chapter 5. On the third day after submitting my resignation, my phone was inundated with calls and messages from Lu Chunyuan. From initially stating the company could not function without me, his tone shifted from commanding to tentative, ultimately tinged with a hint of desperation. As I silenced my phone, my gaze fell upon the computer screen. There was Su Wanwan's latest job-seeking update. She had appeared on the newcomer announcement list of Shenghua Technology. Shenghua Technology, a mid-sized company in competition with Lu's, was also one of the third-party firms that had taken over the property dispute resolution after the fire incident that befell my mother 3 years ago. This coincidence pierced through the last threads of hesitation in my heart like a fine needle. Su Wanwan's malicious gift of the music box was no mere accident. A week later, I commenced my position at Shenghua Technology as a senior market consultant. On my first day at work, upon seeing me, Su Wanwan, holding a cup of coffee, trembled, splattering brown liquid onto her meticulously arranged professional attire. A flicker of fear flashed in her eyes, quickly replaced by a twisted excitement. Lin ran? What are you doing here? The workplace is vast. Cannot only you be present? I replied coolly, my gaze sweeping over the empty box of the music box that had already been tucked away at her workstation. Clearly, she understood that this place was no longer suitable for such displays. In the days that followed, Su Wanwan's provocations were like a persistent thorn in my side. She would accidentally knock files onto my desk and sweetly inform colleagues that Sister Lin Ran was quite impressive at Lu's, albeit with a rather unpleasant temperament. She even attempted to misinterpret my proposals during project meetings to embarrass me. Yet, each of her moves appeared as if a novice was revealing their strategy on a chessboard. During one group discussion, she pointed to my market research report, exclaiming, "Oh, Lin Ran, your data model looks remarkably similar to an old document I saw at Lu's." Before she could finish, I projected an encrypted email on the screen. It was correspondence from 3 years prior, discussing model architecture with former executives at Shenghua Technology, well before Su Wanwan had even joined Lu's. Her face turned ashen, while I calmly withdrew my gaze. Assistant Su, instead of scrutinizing my report, perhaps you should consider how to complete your client follow-ups. The comments on the screen were rolling wildly. Oh my god. Sister is going insane. I shall refer to this maneuver as a cough suppressant, silencing Su Wanwan's cough. Is Su Wanwan truly foolish? Each time she provokes, she faces a counterattack. From whence does her confidence arise?
Wait.
I have discovered a detail. Earlier, when Su Wanwan mentioned the old documents, her fingers instinctively brushed against the necklace around her neck. Could it be the emblem of the property management from the fire-ravaged community 3 years ago? The genuine breakthrough emerged on a rainy night. Shenghua Technology undertook a renovation project for an old community, which coincidentally was the very one where my mother had passed away. Su Wanwan was responsible for liaising with the property management, while I was temporarily reassigned to assist her. Late into the night, while working overtime, I stumbled upon an unsent email on her unlocked computer, addressed to Engineer Zhang. The content read, "The renovation blueprints for the fire escape have been destroyed. You need not worry." Attached were several blurry photographs, one of which captured a familiar silhouette in the corner. A younger Su Wanwan stood with a man clad in a property uniform before the community bulletin board, where a notice regarding the fire escape modification was posted. My heart tightened abruptly. Nonchalantly, I snapped a photo of the email with my phone and found a deleted document in her computer's recycle bin, titled Memorandum on the Aftermath of the 607 Fire Incident. The document contained sporadic notes. Compensation has been allocated. The family members are stable. Lin's mother lives alone, with no direct relatives following up. Chapter 6. Following this was a bank account number, the account holder's name partially obscured, yet the last 4 digits were hauntingly familiar. That was the bank card Su Wanwan frequently used during her university days. Just then, Su Wanwan returned with coffee and, upon seeing me at her computer, her pupils dilated in shock. "What are you doing?" I stood up, directing my phone screen toward her, my tone as frigid as ice. "Su Wanwan, what role did you play in that fire 3 years ago?" Her complexion changed drastically and she lunged at me, attempting to snatch my phone. "You're talking nonsense. That was merely coincidence." We grappled in the office, her necklace tearing apart and falling to the ground. It was a badge inscribed with the name of Anha Property, the very company responsible for managing that community back then. Ultimately, I departed from Shenghua Technology with the evidence in hand, leaving Su Wanwan's cries and offenses in my wake. As I exited the building, I spotted Lu Qinyuan's car parked by the roadside. He approached briskly under an umbrella, his suit soaked by the rain, his gaze betraying an urgency I had never witnessed before. Lin ran. "I heard you encountered trouble at Shenghua. Is it about Su Wanwan?" "It's none of your concern." I sidestepped the umbrella he offered, raindrops cascading down my hair. "Please expedite the approval of my resignation." Yet he stubbornly tilted the umbrella toward me, his voice hoarse. "I won't allow it." Lin ran. "I know I was a jerk in the past. I shouldn't have blamed you while you were being bullied." He paused, retrieving a velvet box from his pocket. "This is the designer pen you once mentioned liking. I searched for it for a long time." I gazed at the box in his hand, suddenly recalling that when I first became his assistant 3 years ago, I had indeed lingered over that pen at a stationery store. However, this belated tenderness felt akin to snowflakes melting upon contact with ice. "Mr. Liu," I interrupted him, my gaze frigid. "While you defend Su Wanwan and label me overly sensitive, did you ever consider these matters when you tacitly accepted her using my mother's death to provoke me? Do you now feel remorse? Do you believe I should forgive you?" He stood frozen in place, his complexion pale. The comments in the rain were blurred, yet clear. "Mr. Liu's pursuit of his beloved has ignited a fire, but it remains smoldering, for the sister has more pressing concerns." My heart aches for Lin Ran. No matter what Mr. Liu does now, it feels like patching a hole. After all, lives are at stake. The crux. The sister has obtained evidence. Su Wanwan should prepare for prison. I no longer glanced at him and turned to walk into the rain. My phone vibrated in my pocket. It was a message from the private investigator I had hired. Su Wanwan maintains a close relationship with Zhang Jianjun, the former supervisor of Anha Property. Zhang Jianjun resigned 3 years ago and is currently untraceable. Furthermore, traces of human obstruction were found on the fire hydrant at the fire scene, with sporadic records in the old files. The chain of evidence is closing. Meanwhile, Lu Qinyuan's apologies weigh as lightly as a feather in the face of my mother's injustice. I pulled out my phone and blocked his number, the screen flashing a final comment. Warning. The male lead's favorability continues to soar, but the female lead's hatred has reached its peak, utterly derailing the emotional trajectory. The rain fell heavier, and I raised my gaze toward the distant neon lights, my eyes reflecting only the cold flames. Chapter 7.
Su Wanwan, Sang Qianhun.
All those who hide behind the fire, I shall unearth you one by one. As for Lu Qinyuan, he had best pray not to become an obstacle on my path to vengeance. On the 7th day following my resignation from Shenghua Technology, Lu Qinyuan's calls finally ceased. Just as I thought he had given up, I received a call from Su Wanwan late at night. Her voice carried a deliberately lowered cry, mixed with Lu Qinyuan's suppressed coughs in the background. "Sister Lin Ran, Mr. Liu. He drank heavily to plead for your return and keeps calling your name." My fingertips grew cold as I held the phone. The moment I pushed open the door to the bar's private room, a potent scent of alcohol assaulted me. Lu Qinyuan lay slumped on the sofa, his tie hanging loosely around his neck, his cheeks flushed, yet his eyes, clouded, were fixated on me. "Lin Ran, you're here." Su Wanwan stood beside him, her eyes red-rimmed, and upon seeing me, she immediately lowered her head in feigned innocence. "No matter how I persuade him, he won't listen. He insists that only you can bring him back to his senses." Incredible. The female lead's act of self-pity scores full marks. Tears come effortlessly. And she could have made a fine actress. Lu Qinyuan has fallen for her again. Is this the aura of the female lead? Even if Su Wanwan were to pull out a murder weapon in the next moment, he would probably still say, "Baby, there must be a reason."
Ha.
I wait to see how Lin Ran will slap their faces, though I must first feel sorry for the sister for 3 seconds before facing this pair of dog lovers. I ignored Su Wanwan and walked straight toward Lu Chunyuan, my tone icy. Mr. Lu, you are intoxicated. I shall have the driver take you home. Suddenly, he grasped my wrist with surprising force, the stench of alcohol wafting over me. I am not drunk. Lin Ran, I realize my mistakes. Will you return? Let us start anew. His gaze held an almost obsessive plea, yet his fingers began to wander towards my waist. Let go of me. I attempted to break free, but he yanked me into his embrace. His scorching body pressed against mine, his chin resting atop my head, his voice slurred. 3 years ago, I should have held on to you and never let you leave me. What on earth are you doing, Lu Chunyuan? Is this drunken madness turning into forced affection? Help, sister. Run quickly. This man is out of his mind from drink. Ugh. He had pretended to be deeply affectionate, but now his true nature is revealed. It seems that all the male leads in domineering CEO stories behave this way. My revulsion and wariness erupted instantaneously, just as he attempted to lean down to kiss me. I swiftly raised my knee, striking him squarely in the abdomen. Lu Chunyuan let out a muffled groan, his body curling inward as I seized the opportunity to push him away. He tumbled awkwardly to the edge of the sofa, his forehead colliding with the corner of the coffee table, and he promptly lost consciousness. Su Wanwan gasped, hastily attempting to assist him, but I shot her a cold glare, causing her to retreat. At that moment, Lu Chunyuan's phone slipped from his pocket, the screen illuminating due to the impact. It revealed a WeChat conversation that had not been locked in time, with the pinned chat box boldly displaying Su Wanwan's name. The timestamp indicated 3 years ago, on the 3rd day following my mother's death in the fire. 7. Su Wanwan. Brother Chunyuan. Regarding Lin's mother, the fire department has taken care of everything. They said it was due to aging wiring, and no one will suspect anything. Lu Chunyuan. Ensure it is handled cleanly. Zhang Jianjun from the Anha Property Management. I urge you to resign and leave the city without delay. Chapter 8. Su Wanwan. Rest assured, he has accepted the hush money we provided. He won't speak out indiscriminately. It's Lin Ran. It seems she is investigating the events of years past. Should we? Lu Chunyuan, no need. I will approach her and keep watch over her. It is merely penance, a burden I can bear. The final line burned into my retina like a red-hot iron. Penance? So, he pursued me for 3 years, not out of affection but out of guilt? He is aware that Su Wanwan is the culprit. Yet he draws near to me under the guise of so-called penance, even choosing to protect the murderer when I was harmed by Su Wanwan. The barrage exploded. What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? Lu Chunyuan is also involved?
Penance, is it? So.
He considers being with Lin Ran a self-indulgent act of atonement?
Disgusting.
Utterly revolting. Thus, from the very beginning it was all a charade? 3 years of pursuit. All a facade? Lu Chunyuan, you hypocrite. Sister, quick, look. Is there anything else on the phone? Search his album. Check his notes. I trembled as I picked up the phone, my fingers barely steady enough to press the screen.
Indeed.
The album concealed further evidence, a blurry surveillance screenshot showing that on the night of the fire, Su Wanwan and a man, none other than Zhang Jianjun from the property management, were sneaking through the hallway of my building. An encrypted note titled 607 Incident Aftermath, meticulously detailing how to destroy evidence of the blocked fire escape, how to steer the media to classify it as an accident, and how Lu Chunyuan covertly wielded influence to suppress the investigation. The most glaring revelation was a passage in his notes. Lin Ran is innocent, but Su Wanwan is the orphan my mother supported back in the day. I cannot allow her to come to harm. Approaching Lin Ran might be the only means to alleviate my guilt, even if she remains forever oblivious to the truth. So that is it. He is not ignorant of Su Wanwan's malevolence. He is complicit in it. His kindness towards me was merely a performance built on deception and atonement. Those late-night work sessions, those seemingly casual displays of concern, even his professed affection, were all part of a meticulously crafted ruse. Su Wanwan, noticing my gaze fixated on the phone screen, shifted from panic to malice. What have you seen? Give me back my phone. She lunged to snatch it away, but I pushed her back with a swift motion. I glanced at the unconscious Lu Chunyuan on the ground, then at the clawing Su Wanwan before me, and the last flicker of warmth within me extinguished.
So,
This is what I once believed to be childhood camaraderie. This is the white lotus adorned with the heroine's halo. One seeks to shield the true culprit, ensnaring me with false sentiments. The other, in a desperate bid to absolve herself, resorts to exploiting my mother's death to provoke me. Sister's gaze has transformed. It is one that yearns to grind them to dust. Support sister. Let us imprison this pair of wretched souls. Make them rot behind bars. Lu Chunyuan, you deserve this. Your so-called penance is the greatest harm to Lin Ran. I backed up all the evidence on my phone and then dialed the detective whose number I had long stored. Hello, it's me. I have found the evidence. And it is far more severe than we anticipated. Also, please arrange for the best lawyer. I intend to sue two individuals, Su Wanwan and Lu Chunyuan. Chapter 9. After ending the call, I lowered my gaze to Lu Chunyuan's pale face. What once seemed profound in his eyes now reflected nothing but repugnant hypocrisy. Did he think that 3 years of atonement could erase his sins? Did he believe that cheap tenderness could mend the scars? I crouched beside him and whispered in his ear, Lu Chunyuan, your method of atonement is misguided. True atonement involves bringing the murderer to justice, granting peace to the victims, not dragging another victim into your web of lies to participate in this vile tragedy. With that, I stood up, refusing to cast another glance at them. Outside the window, dawn was approaching. The first rays of light pierced the darkness, yet they could not illuminate the corners of my heart, which had long been frozen. But it matters not, for I no longer seek the light. From this day forth, I shall become the harbinger of judgment, delivering this couple, burdened with blood debts, to the hell they deserve. My phone vibrated in my pocket. It was a message from the detective. The lawyer is ready and can initiate legal proceedings at any moment. A cold smile crept across my lips. Lu Chunyuan, Su Wanwan, the game is over. Chapter 10. On the day the court's verdict was delivered, a gentle rain fell from the sky. Su Wanwan was sentenced to life imprisonment for intentional homicide with aggravating circumstances, stripped of her political rights for life. Lu Chunyuan, as an accomplice, faced multiple charges of harboring a criminal and obstructing justice, receiving a 10-year prison sentence. In the courtroom, Su Wanwan screamed curses at me, wishing me a miserable fate. Meanwhile, Lu Chunyuan did not glance my way even once. He kept his head bowed, fingers tightly gripping the railing of the defendant's stand. When the judge announced the sentence, his shoulders trembled sharply, and he finally lifted his gaze towards me, his eyes a tumultuous blend of regret, resentment, and a complexity I could not decipher. What the hell? Life imprisonment. Su Wanwan will be rotting away in prison. Delightful. Lu Chunyuan only received 10 years?
indeed.
Wealth can manipulate the gears of fate. His family must have intervened. It infuriates me. Just because his family is affluent, he gets to serve fewer years behind bars? What happened to equality before the law? The upstairs is calm, awaiting the aftermath. Public opinion has exploded. The Lu Corporation cannot escape. Just as the comments suggested, Lu Chunyuan's imprisonment did not quell the storm. I instructed my lawyer to anonymously expose all evidence related to the fire, including Lu Chunyuan's confessions in his notes and his records of suppressing the investigation, to numerous media outlets. The news of the Lu Corporation shielding a murderer and deceiving the victim's family with false affection ignited an online frenzy. Within a week, the stock price of the Lu Corporation plummeted by 70%, partners rushed to terminate contracts, and debt collection notices flooded in like falling snow. Lu Chunyuan's parents attempted to wield their family influence to salvage the situation, but under the surging tide of public opinion and the intervention of regulatory authorities, they faced relentless setbacks. The most devastating blow came from within. Several senior shareholders of the Lu Corporation jointly issued a statement, dismissing Lu Chunyuan from his position as chairman and applying for the company's bankruptcy liquidation. 3 months later, I saw the news of the Lu Corporation's bankruptcy in a financial report. The image showed the sign of the Lu building being slowly dismantled, once a formidable commercial empire. It was now reduced to a field of ruins.
Meanwhile,
reports from prison indicated that although Lu Chunyuan enjoyed special treatment due to his family connections and was exempt from strenuous labor, he rapidly withered away, often found staring blankly at the wall late at night, mumbling the word penance. Haha, the Lu Corporation has collapsed. What a relief. Money cannot save his company. A decade in prison for $100 billion in assets. Is this a profitable deal? Lu Chunyuan must be regretting it profoundly. Let us not give him any pity. Even if he lives comfortably in prison, watching the company he built with his own hands disintegrate is a mental torment. The key issue is Lin Ran's sister. How is she doing? I was packing my belongings, gazing out at the unfamiliar urban landscape. A month had passed since the collapse of the Lu Corporation. I had declined all media interviews and blocked all former colleagues who attempted to pry for information. Xiaoling had called me in tears, expressing regret for misunderstanding me. Now striving to work hard at her new company, asking when I would return to visit. I softly replied over the phone, Xiaoling, thank you. But I need a new beginning. Yes, a new beginning. With the overtime pay Lu Chunyuan owed me for 3 years and commissions from previous projects, I purchased a modest apartment with a terrace in a coastal town in the south. The air here is perpetually infused with the salty tang of the sea breeze, and the old street below is bustling with life. No one recognizes me. No one knows what I have endured. On the eve of my departure, I visited my mother's grave. In the photograph upon the gravestone, she smiles gently. I lay down a bouquet of white chrysanthemums and softly utter, Mother, those who harmed you have received their due retribution. Lu Chunyuan's company has perished, and he has lost his most cherished possession. You may rest in peace now. The wind rustles through the cemetery, and the leaves whisper, as if responding to my words. I rise, casting one last glance at the tombstone before turning away, resolute in not looking back. My sister is finally ready to embark on a new chapter of her life. Tears well in my eyes. Congratulations to my sister for escaping the abyss of suffering. Far from toxic individuals and distressing affairs, how delightful it is to pursue a career and seek prosperity. I hope she encounters her true soulmate in this new city, or revels in her own beauty, which is equally splendid. The bullet comments bear witness, Ms. Lin Ran. From henceforth, the mountains are high and the seas vast, with a promising future ahead. As the airplane ascends into the clouds, I gaze out the window at the city shrinking beneath me. The comments that once entangled me began to dwindle after Lu Chunyuan's incarceration and the downfall of his company, leaving only a few scattered blessings that ultimately vanished into the clouds. Perhaps the so-called narrative and aura were never chains binding me. When I ceased to tread the path laid out by others and tore apart the facade of false affection and the sheltering of malevolence, I had rewritten my own conclusion. Upon arriving in the new city, during the first twilight, I received a message from Xiaoling. It was a photograph of the Lu Corporation building being demolished, accompanied by the words, out with the old, in with the new.
Sister, keep going.
I smiled, deleted all contacts associated with my past from my phone, and then opened the map to search for the nearby branch of Mingrui Consulting. It was a place where I had once worked, now also established in the city. The warm glow of the setting sun enveloped my palm, comforting and genuine. The past is dead, and the future is born. This time, I shall live for myself, shining brighter than ever before. As for those toxic individuals and affairs, let them remain forever in the dust of the past. The end of the narrative. Thank you for listening, and until our next story,